Hi everyone. Today in this video we are going to deploy application load balancer and also we will see how the load balancing happen between the two instances. Okay. So before moving in, I'll show you the VPC we are using today. So I am using this demo VPC and it has a two public subnets, uh, 1A and 1B availability zone, so that we can understand how we can achieve high availability and also the load balancing happens through the load balancers. Okay, so we need a two instances, one in 1A and 1B. I'm in Mumbai region, so let me launch two EC2 instances. You can name it anything. I'm naming it as a test one. Amazon Linux I will take, and T2 micro key pair, and we need to select our demo VPC. And first I'll be selecting this public subnet which is in 1A. You can see here AP South 1A. And also we will assign the public IP by default, and I'm giving it as a create a new security group. If you have an existing security group, you can use the same thing, but make sure you have two rules allowed. One is 22, that is for your SSH port to connect your server, and one more is 80 port, which we are using for HTTP. We are going to host a small demo website also in our EC2 instances so that you can understand how the load balancing happens between both the servers. Okay, so here, okay, let it create. I'll add one more rule, that is HTTP. As I said, we need that. So if you select here, it automatically takes 80. Source I'll give it as 0. All traffic I'll be allowing. So that is the one thing. Next, let it be 8. Now there will be, if you scroll down to the end, you can see user data. So why I'm using this means I don't want to manually go inside the server and install the HTTPD or Apache. Then I need to go into that index.html file and write down the content what is need to be shown in my website, demo website. So what I'll do directly, I'll paste it here. I already have a bash code. In this place, you can always paste the bash code. That is, you can see bin bash. So what it is doing, first it is updating my system. Then it is going to install HTTPD. Then it starts that HTTPD service and also it enables it. So in this code, it will fetch my server host name. So usually when you launch a server, by default, its host name will be its private IP. And then in my index.html, this thing first will be demo website and welcome to my demo website, and server's host name it will be pasted. Why I'm using host name here? So that we can differentiate between the two instances. Where is our traffic is flowing? Is it in a server 1, server 2, like that? We are going to check. Okay. So for more clarification, I'll add it here. One more thing as 1A. That means I am using, like I'm launching this instance in a 1A, so that means it will understand. So let me copy this fully and I'm pasting it. Okay, so I think everything is ready now. We will launch this first instance. So this is getting launched. So in meantime, we will launch the second server also. I'll name it as a test2. Amazon Linux I will take, and T2 micro key pair, you can use the same thing. And here again I'm selecting demo VPC, and this time I'm taking public subnet 1B, which is AP South 1B. Okay, for this also I'm auto assigning the public IP. Here I'll choose the existing, which will be our launch wizard 10. If you remember, in a previous test 1 server also I use the same thing. So both the rules will be allowed already. HTTP, which is required for my website, and SSH for my connection. Okay, so I'll close this. So again, I'll come to user data. I'll just make one change here. I'll write it as 1B because this server is in 1B. So let me copy this and paste it. Okay, so I'm launching this also. Okay, if you see, my test1 server is already up and running, test2 server is coming up. Let it come. In a meantime, we will now go to load balancer and we are going to deploy. So this is my load balancer. Always remember, you need to have a target groups before you creating a load balancer. But if you are not aware of target groups, I'll show it in a some time. I'll first go with the load balancer itself. Once the target groups concept comes, I'll explain you there. Then we will create that. Okay. Sorry, I forgot to explain this. Okay. So there are three types of load balancers: application, network load balancer, and gateway load balancer. This is the new one which has recently come. Before this, we had a one more classic load balancer which is very old and it is like AWS is not supporting that much. Classic is a combination of application and network load balancer, but now they have separated out. So today for our demo session, we are going to deploy the application load balancer. So click on create. You can name it anything. I'll name it as a test ALB, that is application load balancer. So I'm giving it as an internet facing itself. So I'm not, that's why I deployed everything in a public subnet. If you have a servers deployed in a private subnet and you need to access those servers from the internet, then you can select it as an internal here. But I have a public subnet and my servers are deployed in public subnet, so I'm going with internet facing. So load balancer IP address type will be IPv4. I'll keep it the same thing. So here we need to select the same VPC where we have deployed our EC2 instances. So demo VPC. If you remember, I have two servers, in one in AP South 1A, another one is AP South 1B. So I'll select both the subnets. So select it wise like properly. In 1A I have two subnets, one is public and private, but I'm going to select public subnet. In 1B I have only one subnet, so it is by default took it. Okay. Security groups, I'll keep it as a default one, but make sure this server, sorry, this security group has a 80 rule allowed, like an inbound rule should be allowed. Okay. Now you can see listeners and routing. So we have a two protocols. One is HTTP and HTTPS. For HTTPS, we need to add the certificate and all to host a website, which is more secure than HTTP. Generally, we all uses HTTPS only everywhere due to security reasons. But for a simpler and demo purpose, I'm going to use the HTTP itself, that is coming with the port 80. Now here you can see it is asking for select a target group, but if you remember we didn't create any target groups. So now we will see how to create a target group and what and all need to be added in there also. Okay. So this is the target group console. Let us create one. So choose a target type here. There are different target types, that is instance, IP address, lambda, application, load balancer. You can directly take a like a load balancer itself for a targets. But in my case, I have a two instance which are as a targets. My load balancer should go and reach that instances. So I'm selecting the instance here, and protocol here also same. If you remember, in load balancer we used HTTP 80, so we going to keep the same thing, and it is IPv4, and VPC will be our demo VPC. Protocol version I'll keep it default HTTP1 itself, and health check path. You can keep it slash itself, or else you can mention the path if you have any custom path where it need to go and check. That is our HTML file, index.html, what I'm saying. In my example, it would be in var www.html, and inside that it will be index.html. So I'll show you once I log in into the system. So if you have any custom path, you can mention it here, or else you can leave it as a same thing slash. Health checkups you can like set up according to your required needs. Okay, so first one is health threshold, so 5. That means it should consider like a, if a 5 times if my targets come as a unhealthy, then it will consider as a targets are getting unhealthy, like it is not able to communicate with the targets. And also timeout interval, so this and all. So click on next. Okay, I forgot to name it. I'll name it as a test TG, that is test target group. I'll click on next. Now you can see the two instances which we have launched. We can see it here now. So what you need to do, select both the instances, and our port will be 80. Click on include as pending below. So once you do this, click on create target group. Okay. Currently it is unused. In some time it will update and it will come as a healthy. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll refresh it here. Now we can see our target group. So we shall select that. We'll scroll down. I'm going with the basic load balancer as of now. So you can see now it has come to provisioning. In some time it will be up and running. So before that, I'll take this my test one server. We are going to paste its public IP. What it should do, it should take, okay, I'm getting the site cannot be reached. Okay, so still I'm not able to access my website which is hosted. So what I'll do, I'll go and check what is the status of my HTTPD and is it everything is updated. Okay, first let me check is it HTTPD is running or not. The command is systemctl status HTTPD. Okay, so it is active and it is running. Still, why I'm facing that issue? Let me check. Let us close that. CD slash var www html and ll. So as I said, the path is var www slash html. Inside that we have a index.html. So in this file, we would have been hosted our website. Cat, let me cat. So yeah, I can see the same thing. It has taken the host name if you see here, but still I'm not able to access this website server. So what would be the cause? Let us check the security group. Okay, so 80 is also allowed. Let me go back. So as we check now, everything is in place, but why I couldn't access my website is I made a very small mistake. I'll let you know what is it. Let me type that. I didn't use HTTP. So whenever if you miss to use HTTP by automatic, if you directly paste your public IP, it will take it in a HTTPS. So that is how the Chrome is been set up. So when you directly paste your instance public IP, it will take it as a HTTPS. That is why I couldn't access it. So what I'll do, I'll manually type it here and I'll take my instance public IP as well and I'll paste it here. So let me copy this. I'll open the new tab. See, now we are able to access this. Same way, if I want to check for my second server, I'll just change this public IP. I'll copy this. I'll paste it. Now we can see the server. How to differentiate? You can use this IP address to understand. I'll show you 10.0.3.76. Okay, that is our server test2, which has been hosted in 1B availability zone. Okay, so now my HTTPD service is working fine and I am also able to access the server. Here what I am doing, typing the both the IPs manually and entering into the each server. But I don't want to do this. I want to use the one link, but it should route my traffic to both of these servers. Like once it should come to my 1A server and one more time it should go to my 1B server. Like balance should be happening. The single server should not get a heavy traffic. That's it. So we'll achieve that using our load balancer. So let us refresh and check it. Is it available now? Yes, it is active now. So using load balancer, how to check am I able to access it? We need to use this DNS name. If you copy and paste it instead of the public IP, then you will be able to access your servers. Before that, I just want to make sure one thing, this security group. What is the rule allowed in this? Okay. So inbound rule, all traffic is been allowed, but it should not still allow, like it is not allowed 80 port. You can see all, but the source is specified for a particular security group. It is a loop, first of all. The same security group, it has been added in a default inbound rule. Okay, so I need to allow your 80. But before that, once we'll try to access the server without allowing 80, so it should throw an error. Let us check that. So currently it is loading and we can see the site cannot be reached. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll go back to here, edit inbound and type it HTTP and source. For now I'll keep it all traffic and I'll save these rules. Now what it should happen, I'm refreshing it. Okay, I think let me close that. I'll paste it here. I think what happens sometimes due to cache memory, we are not able to access it. The best way is to open the incognito. What I'll do, I'll paste the DNS here and I'll enter it. So yes, now we are able to access the server. See, now I am currently connected to 1A server, that is 209. Where is that? I'll show you. This is my 1A server with 209 IP. Okay, I'm refreshing it now. See, now the traffic has reached to the another server, that is 1B, and the IP is 76 3.76. Let us go and check. This is my 1B server and it is 3.76. Again, if I refresh, it will go to 1A. I'm refreshing again 1B. So like this, each and every time, if our two people are there, one will reach my server that present in availability zone 1A and the another user will be reaching to my server hosted in 1B. So I hope the concept of application load balancer is clear to you people now. If you have any queries or any doubts, please leave the comment below. So I'll try to answer each one of your questions and queries. Thank you.